Welcome the students of class 8, welcome to our social science history class. And today in this class we are going to discuss about the last subunit of your chapter number 11 from your old NCERT history book. And it is in page number 155 and the name of the subunit is Quit India and Later. So previous class we have already read about the civil disobedience movement organized by Mahatma Gandhi and how did he break the salt law and initiated the movement. Next, today we are going to discuss about the Quit India movement. This is the last mass movement organized by Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi decided to initiate a new phase of movement against the British in the middle of the Second World War. In 1939, when Second World War broke out, then the British must quit India immediately. So this slogan was taken by the Congresses as well as Gandhiji. He told them, to the people, he said that do or die, this is the slogan, do or die, karenge ya marenge. So in your effort to fight the British, but you must fight non-violently. But one condition Gandhiji also given, that is the following non-violence. But Gandhiji and other leaders were jailed at once, but the movement spread. When the movement just started, the British government arrested all the Congress leaders, including Gandhiji, and sent them to jail. But it was spread all over the country, and it especially attracted peasants and the youth who gave up their studies to join it. Communications and symbols of state authority were attacked all over the country, such as the telegraph posts were abrupted. They cut the telegraph wires, lines, and the railway lines dislocated. And in this way, in many areas, the people set up their own government. In Tomluk, in West Bengal also, Tamrolipto National government also established. And the first response of the British was severe repression. By the end of 1943, over 90,000 people were arrested and around 1,000 killed in police firing in various protests organized by the mass. So in many areas, orders were given to machine gun crowds from airplanes. Orders were also issued to use machine gun on the crowds, because at that time the World War was occurred. So the British government, they tried to suppress the movement anyhow, and ultimately brought the Raj to its knees. The rebellions, however, ultimately brought the Raj to its knees, and in this time period, a radical nationalist, with the social leanings, Subhash Chandra Bose, also the follower of Chittaranjan Das. After the death of Chittaranjan Das, he also represent Congress twice as a president and establish a powerful image in the national politics. But Gandhiji's ideal of ahimsa, though he respected him as the father of the nation, in January 1941, before that, there are some conflict with Gandhiji in the pathway of ahimsa. And when he won in the Haripura Congress and Gandhiji's nominated person, Pattabi Sitaramaya, lost in the election, he understood that Gandhiji was not happy with him. So he understood that this is not a path, his path and Gandhiji's path of ahimsa were not the same. So he resigned from the post of Congress, and he also formed his independent political party, that is the Forward Bloc. And after that, in 1941, when the British police also seized him in his house, secretly he left his Calcutta home, and through Afghanistan disguised as a Afghani, he went to Germany and after that Singapore. He raised Azad Hind Fauj, Indian National Army INA there, which was already organized by Rash Behari Bose, another nationalist, with the help of Captain Mohan Singh. And the Azad Hind Fauj was formed with the soldiers that were actually captured by the British forces actually captured by the Japanese forces, those who were fighting for the British, those Indian men. And to free India from British control in 1944, the INA tried to enter India through Imphal and Kohima. Kohima is the capital of Nagaland, Imphal is the capital of Manipur in northeastern India. They also captured the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, but the campaign failed due to various reasons and the loss of, and when the Japan, the main supporter of this force, surrendered in front of America and the Allied forces. So the INA members were imprisoned after that, arrested by the Britishers. Lot of people also killed brutally and tried. So people across the country in 1946, when they were tried, they participated in a movement against the INA trials in 1946. And Subhash Chandra Bose, in 1945, it was said that he was died in a plane crash, but no solid proof was found on this matter. So what happened after that? In the time of Quit India, meanwhile in 1940, when Muslim League had moved to a resolution demanding independent state for Muslims in northwestern and eastern areas of the country. The resolution did not mention partition of Pakistan, but why did League ask for the autonomous arrangement for Muslims in the subcontinent? Because from the late 1930s, the League began viewing the Muslims as a separate nation from the Hindus. And in developing the notion it may have been influenced by the history of tension between some Hindu and Muslim groups in 1920s and 1930s. More importantly, the provincial election of 1937 seemed to have convinced the League that Muslims were a minority, and they own some of the seats in present day at the time, that is in Punjab province and in Bengal. In these two provinces, they took majority of seats, and they would always have to play second fiddle in any democratic structure. It feared that Muslim may even to unrepresented the Congress rejection of the League's desire to form a joint Congress League government in the United Provinces in 1937, because Congress won the election and they were denied to form a united government in United Province with Muslim Leagues. So that incident was disturbed the Muslim League leaders, and the Congress failure to mobilize the Muslim masses in 1930s allowed the League to widen its social support and it sought to enlarge its support in the early 1940s, when most Congress leaders were in jail. And at the end of war 1945, the British opened negotiations between the Congress, the League and themselves for the independence of India. They understood that it was impossible after the World War. The British economy was totally destroyed. They were suffered from severe problems and decided to give freedom to India. But the talks failed because the League saw itself as a sole spokesperson of India's Muslim, and the Congress could not accept the claim since a large number of Muslims still supported it. So elections to the provinces were again held in 1946, and the Congress did well in the general constitutions, but the League's success in the states reserved for Muslim was spectacular. As per 1945 decision, with the Britishers. So some seats were reserved for the Muslim League, and in those seats, Muslim League made remarkable result. And it persisted with the demand of Pakistan in March 1946, and they now dreaming for another independent country for the Muslim, that is the Pakistan, in 1946. And the British cabinet sent a 3-member mission to India to examine the demand and to suggest a suitable political framework for the free India. This is the mission. This is called the cabinet mission. And the mission suggested, after verifying everything, that India should remain united and constitute itself as a loose federation with some autonomy for Muslim majority areas. But it could not get the Congress and Muslim League to agree to specific details in proposal. So what happened after that? With the partition now become more or less inevitable when the both political groups, Congress and Muslim League, they were indifferent in their decisions. So after the failure of the cabinet mission, the Muslim League decided on mass agitation for winning its Pakistan demand. So it's announced 16 August 1946 as the Direct Action Day, and the Muslim leaders announced that Larke Lenge Pakistan. So this is the slogan given by them, and a massive riot broke out in Calcutta, in Noakhali, in present-day Bangladesh, and in western frontiers of Punjab. And several Sikhs, Hindus and Muslims were butchered each other, and lasting several days and resulting in the death of thousands of people. By March 1947, violence spread to different parts of the northern India too. Many hundred thousands people were killed, and numerous women had to face untold brutalities during the partition. Millions of people were forced to flee their homes, torn asunder from their homelands. They were reduced to being refugees in alien lands. They forced to migrate from one place to another place. The Hindus, they forced to migrate to the part that were decided for the Hindus, that is the India, and some of the Muslims, they choose to go to the land decided for that to be ruled by Muslim League, that is the Pakistan. So in this way, partition occurred. It is the most pathetic things and pathetic incident, and largest mass migration due to some political and religious reason in the history of the world. And they were reduced to being refugees in alien lands. They left everything, their home, their ancestral home, their property, their land, their cattle, some of them also lost their family members. Some of the family members were killed in the brutal riot. And partition also meant that India changed. Many of its cities also changed. New people also gathered in, and they started living in new areas of the cities, such as Tilak Nagar and Lajpat Nagar in New Delhi. And in Kolkata, the Jadavpur and Santoshpur region. And the new country, Pakistan, was born. So the joy of our country's independence from British rule came mixed with the pain and violence of the partition. And the country's border was decided by Sir Radcliffe within few days. And in this way, a huge subcontinent that contained a vast diversity from ancient period was divided into two parts, and later on it was also divided into three parts and formed a new country, that was Bangladesh. So students, that's all from the chapter number 11, or also the quit India and later means the partition. So I'm finishing my class here. So next day we are going to discuss another subunit, that is now the Constitution of India. Thank you everyone.